Potential wars. Ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Yes, I'm talking about you. The world is getting kind of funky. It seems like wars are becoming more and more common. Let's go over potential wars that could probably happen within the next 15 to 20 years. It's an Iceberg video. I don't think you need further introduction. Let's just get into it. So the first tier starts off with the Russia-NATO war. Now, obviously Russia and NATO don't get along. In fact, that's even the main reason NATO even exists, is to counter Russia's threats. Now, the war in Ukraine did escalate a lot, and now it's kind of in a stalemate a bit, but there is a chance that it could get crazier and Russia could attack NATO, or NATO could attack Russia. And yeah, when that happens, the whole world will get involved and it'll probably be World War III. But it's not just Russia and NATO. We also gotta look more east. You see, during the Chinese Civil War, the nationalists fought against the communists, and the communists ended up winning. The nationalists then fled to the island of Taiwan. The nationalists claimed to be the real Chinese, but the communists also claimed to be the real Chinese, and that's where the problem arises. Communist China believes that Taiwan is a part of China, and that can kind of get a bit tricky because then China could invade Taiwan and Japan and America might not get too happy about it. And yeah, boom, World War III again. Going back towards the communist versus anti-communist whole idea, during the Korean War, North Korea, aka Communist Korea, fought off against South Korea, the capitalist Korea. North Korea being backed by China and the Soviet Union, South Korea being backed by Japan and America. Now, there is a chance that despite the Korean War happening over 70 years ago, there is a chance that a second Korean War could happen. Because pretty much nothing has changed. The whole geopolitical situation is the same. US/Israel-Iran war. Now, Israel is a Jewish state. Iran is a Muslim state. Jews and Muslims don't really get along. America is a kinda somewhat Jewish, I guess Judeo-Christian state in a way. America and Israel are allies, and America and Israel believe in a Jewish homeland in the Middle East, but Iran, not so much. And that can kind of cause issues between Israel, Iran, and America. And that's kind of what's going on right now. Alright, so it's the 19th century. The British Empire is on top of the world. The British Raj was the collection of South Asian countries under the British rule. Now, after the Raj split off, thanks to this guy, the two biggest states that came out of the British Raj were India and Pakistan. India being a mainly Hindu state and Pakistan being a mainly Muslim state. Now, India believes that Pakistan should be a part of their territory, and Pakistan does not like India either because of territorial disputes, like Kashmir. So I think what this is referring to is you have America, you have Mexico, hablas español, and essentially speaking, America might maybe invade Mexico because of the Mexican cartel and to strengthen America's sovereignty. Now, I doubt that this would ever happen. However, it is kind of getting a bit more likely. Trump kind of talked a bit about it. And on top of that, while I don't think America would invade all of Mexico, there is a chance they might kind of, tackle the northern part a bit. Of course, because of the British Empire, there have been Venezuelan disputes over Guyana because they believe that that land is a part of their land. And yeah, in America, tensions have kind of skyrocketed, and not in a good way. America is very politically divided right now, not just between Democrats and Republicans, but between this and 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 this. And it seems like there is a chance that a civil war could happen in America. A second one. And yeah, I don't think it would happen right away, but it's definitely getting towards there. End of story. I'll throw in a bonus one being America invading us because, like, what the fuck has been going on recently in the news? But yeah. So, yet again, thanks to the British, there's this line called the Durand Line, which is disputed between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Not only that, but Pakistan hasn't been so nice to Afghani refugees, and on top of that, Pakistan doesn't like the Taliban, and on top of that, Pakistan doesn't like that Afghanistan is kind of getting buddy with India. So yeah, there have been kind of some disputes, and also Afghanistan doesn't like that Pakistan kind of, promotes terrorism against them, and vice versa, and they also do that, and then yeah, it's just a crazy mess. Second Sino-Indian War. Now, if this were to happen, this would be the wildest war ever. Half the world would be fighting. Now, there was a first Sino-Indian War, although it wasn't super crazy. But basically speaking, to sum it up, China and India have kind of recently had disputes over territories in the Himalayas. Also, China is buddy with Pakistan, and again, India, Pakistan, bada boom, bada bing. So, yeah, that's the whole gist. Oh, and India has a crazy ass trade deficit with China. Okay, expanding on the whole Taiwan thing, basically speaking, there's China, there's the South Chinese Sea, there's disputes here, boom, boom, boom. Now, the Iranian Revolution was a revolution that happened in Iran, where the country adopted a more stricter view of Islam and the teachings of Islam, and essentially speaking, the Second Iranian Revolution isn't an actual revolution. As crazy as that's gonna sound. Yes, I know it's in the title. It basically just talks about the direction that Iran is heading as a country and the expanding of the first revolution. So the Haitian Civil War is essentially between young Haitians who hate the government and the prime minister. They definitely want his head on a pike. And they also hate that the government has been completely fucking incompetent, and that half the country is starving, and that there are literal natural disasters destroying everything. And yeah, no, it's pretty batshit insane down there. The Second Falkland Wars refer to these islands, located across from Argentina, that was claimed by the British, and now the Argentinians are like, hold up, no, these are ours, they're not yours. And the British are like, sorry, innit, they're all fucking yours, eh? And now there has been a conflict between Britain and Argentina, and there's a chance there might be a second one coming up soon. So yeah. The Turkish invasion of Kurdish territories refers to the fact that Kurds are the largest ethnic group without a country. Now, Kurds are spread, in a lot of different countries, and there's a chance that Turkey might, have a slice of the pie and try and invade these countries, and try and force Kurdish people to become Turkish. The reignition of the Troubles. The Troubles consisted of this group of pro-Irish militias in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that wanted Northern Ireland's independence from the Brits and wanted to reunite Ireland as a whole. The most infamous group of these militias being the IRA. Not this IRA, this IRA. Not these Republicans, these Republicans. No, not even these Republicans, these Republicans. The IRA is pretty batshit insane. There's a chance they might come back, and yeah, with what's been going on in British politics recently, it wouldn't even surprise me. The Azerbaijan-Armenian War. This one has been on the news a lot in the past couple of years. Armenia is really Christian, Azerbaijan is really Muslim, and Azerbaijan and Turkey are friends, and Turkey did, this to the Armenians, and yeah, and that's a war now. These countries used to be a part of the USSR, but then boom, literally split like a fake TikTok cake, and Armenia and Azerbaijan fight over territory. Transnistria is this part of Moldova that claims independence from Moldova, and they literally use an old USSR flag, which is kind of cool. but they're really, really pro-Russian, and they want to be a part of Russia, pretty much. And Ukraine doesn't like them, and yeah. The Second Bosnian War. The First Bosnian War happened because, you know, the Balkans. Yugoslavia, you know, disintegrated, and of course, because of it, the Bosnians and the Croats fought against the Serbs, and there was a huge war. I remember reading about the cellist of Sarajevo in high school, because it was one of the books we had to read, and I picked it, in fact, and it was pretty cool. I liked it. It really went to the brutality of war, and there's a chance that a second war could happen. Probably not super unlikely, because, you know, how the Balkans be, but yeah. So the Rwandan Civil War happened between mainly the Tutsis and the Hutu militias. Now, the Tutsis were killed by Hutu militias, who also went against their own kind too a little. And it was a pretty brutal civil war, and it was pretty brutal for the Tutsis, as they were a part of the Rwandan genocide that killed 500,000 to 1 million people. Now, despite how brutal this genocide was, there is still some tensions between, you know, these two ethnic groups in Africa, so, you know. But yeah, that's what happened, and what might happen again. The Western Sahara conflict. So there's this part in West Africa, which should be a part of Morocco, but wait, hold up. No. It's not. It's independent, right? But wait, it's not independent. But Algeria wants it to be independent, and they want to be independent, but Morocco says no. And that has led to Morocco being one of the only countries that Algeria doesn't have friendly trade relations with. And yeah, there's a big dispute over this. The Egyptian-Ethiopian War. Basically speaking, in the 1800s, the Egyptians expanded towards Ethiopia and tried to fuck around with it. And historically speaking, they haven't really gotten along ever since then. I mean, they have had beef over the Nile River, and Ethiopia wants to build a dam that will help them. But if they do, 100 million Egyptians' lives are at stake, and that might not be good. And a bunch of other stuff too. This actually ties me into the water wars. So, water is not infinite. Eventually speaking, we're gonna run out of it. So, like, if we run out of the most essential nutrient, people are gonna end up fighting over it. And countries are gonna end up fighting over it. So, probably within the next couple of decades, there will be water wars. Mainly in the Middle East, South Asia, and South Africa, as predicted. AI wars. AI is scary. And eventually speaking, it will become smarter than us. And we won't like that. So we will probably try and fight the AIs. Which might not be good. But we're going to do it. And we're going to win. Hopefully. Or, you know, we'll be enslaved forever. And I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream will become a reality. In the middle of the human and AI fighting, there will be transhumans who will argue that both should cooperate together, and yeah, we're heading into funky times. What's just as scary as AI? Not a lot. But aliens? Well, I mean, there's a chance that if aliens came to Earth, we might try and kick their asses and might get mixed results. But of course, we have Bass Pro Shops here, so we're totally gonna fucking kick their asses. The Dark Forest conflict goes into the Dark Forest theory. Now, the Dark Forest theory goes like this. So, why haven't we come across alien life? Well, aliens could potentially be hiding from other aliens. What do I mean by this? Well, you see, aliens might be afraid of getting destroyed by other aliens, which could lead them to hiding from each other. That's one of the theories. The other being that aliens could be hiding from a master alien race that wants to destroy them. That could also be a bad thing and could lead us into conflict with that master alien race. What I could also propose is that aliens are hiding from us, and eventually, when we do come across them, they will be afraid of getting destroyed, and they will instinctively try and kill us. Which, again, isn't good. So what I'm saying is either way, we might be fucked. But that pretty much wraps it up for the potential future wars. War is interesting, but it's also scary. War is a path to peace, but also a path to death. War is a dying nation's last stand and a thriving nation's first one. War is truly something that will forever stand the test of time until we can build that perfect society where war doesn't exist. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the whole list. Well, actually, there's two more. So first of all, there's the Squirrel War. There was a book, right? Just a regular book that I remember. It was about a bunch of squirrels, and they, for some odd reason, decided to declare war on a town. And they were really, like, evil, and they just did horrible things. And there was people fighting against the squirrels, and the main character almost ended up dying, and it was pretty wild. But yeah, it was a kid's book, and I guess squirrels did squirrel things. And then, of course, there's the OS war. In one corner, you have Windows. In the other corner, you have Mac OS. The other corner, you have Linux. And then you have Chrome OS. Eventually speaking, one must reign supreme. But you know what? I think that the craziest war that will forever revolutionize the course of history is the Great Battle Royale of 2028.